Many Canadians are having challenges when it comes to stress and anxiety impacting their overall well-being, especially when it comes to trying to get a good night's rest. Sometimes the traditional Western approach is not always the best answer. Cami Tanner is the visionary founder of Herbal Apothecary here in Lethbridge, and she has some ideas of how to improve our health. Her business houses a wide variety of dried herbs, mushrooms, powders, and teas, and they're all geared toward embracing a more holistic and natural approach to our health. Cami, welcome back to Bridge City News.
Hi, thank you for having me.
You bet. How does the quality of one's diet really impact our overall health? And maybe what are some specific examples of how a nutritious diet contributes to a healthier body?
That's a loaded question because food plays so much into our health and how our body reacts to the food that we eat. It seems like we live in a society right now where everything's grab and go or takeout, and everything is full of stimulants, sugar and salt, and different additives to make food taste good and addictive. But really, it doesn't do very much for our health. And so when we get back to a natural diet or a more healthy diet from fruits, vegetables, eating out of our garden, it plays a tremendous role on our health and how we feel after we eat those types of foods.
Let's talk about how eating a lot of the natural foods really plays a role in disease prevention, Cami.
Yeah, so eating natural foods, those are rich with vitamins and minerals, and kind of think of our body as like organic material. We were made out of organic material, so is plants. And so when we're eating like, it attracts like. So it benefits each other. When we're eating those inorganic foods and things that are processed, highly processed, it doesn't match very well with our body. And so it causes a lot of confliction and a lot of upset, a lot of imbalance. And that's why we have so many health issues today.
So what key food groups should we really focus in on for our diets to really improve our gut health? And the gut health really impacts our mental health as well, correct?
Yeah, you actually have more neurons in your gut than you do in your brain. So the foods that you eat is very important for both our physical health and our mental health. So fermented foods are the best. They play such a huge role in our diet and our stomach and our digestion. So eating kimchi, our misos, even our water keffirs and our kombuchas are very important for our gut. But just think as natural as possible. If it comes from the earth, you dug it up and you eat it, that's as natural as you can get. As soon as you start processing it, that's when you're going to start running into problems.
Are there any specific ingredients or practices from traditional medicine that are particularly effective for common skin concerns, like maybe acne or eczema?
Yeah, I mean, some of those are genetic, but there are a lot of things that we can use to help with acne. Tea tree is a really good essential oil. It's very antibacterial, and a lot of our acne is caused by bacteria in the skin. So you can use tea tree. Aloe vera is another really good antibacterial. Frankincense, diluting those down in a carrier oil like jojoba oil. Jojoba acts very much like our skin's own natural oils. And so it's very healing, reduces inflammation, and diluting those essential oils into a carrier oil of about a 5% dilution is just about perfect. And so putting that on your skin and applying it can help reduce that inflammation, that bacteria growth in the skin, and even using activated charcoal, which can pull out some of the toxins that cause flare-ups.
Are there any ancient beauty rituals or techniques people can use that maybe integrate into their modern skincare routine to help them look younger?
Oh, there's lots of them. I mean, just look back to the Egyptian culture where they were revered for their beauty. Some of their practices were, using Dead Sea minerals and coffee to scrub and exfoliate their skin, taking soothing milk baths, using honey for a facial mask, or putting almond oil all over their skin to protect it from the sun and protect it and heal it from damage. Those are all great things that we can do. Tremella mushroom is another one that is, it's actually phrased the beauty mushroom because it's so good for the skin by improving elasticity and reducing inflammation in the skin. So there's lots of things.
It's just funny, I'm thinking about the cost of milk right now. You said a milk bath. You know how expensive that bath would be? The price of
I'll
milk.
do like a coconut milk or oat milk bath.
Oh, there
That
you
might
go,
bring the
yeah.
cost down a little bit.
How do these natural remedies compare to or maybe complement conventional skincare products and treatments?
Um, so if you're looking at, always look at the labels on the ingredient or the ingredients of the products that you're buying. If it's as natural as possible, that's going to be good. But today there's a lot of cosmetics and facial products that are filled with preservatives and alcohol in order to make them shelf stable and make them last, which are going to cause a lot of damage to your skin. And remember, your skin is your first line of defense to your immune system. And so you want to keep that cellular wall and that cellular mortar very strong and very intact to prevent bacteria, fungus, things like that from entering in the body. So you want to really steer away from chemical preservatives and alcohol, but look for those ingredients that are very natural. Hyaluronic acid is a great one to put on your skin that are found in a lot of cosmetics and beauty products today.
I had a doctor many years ago in Calgary when I was a child growing up in southern Alberta here, and he used to tell me, Hal, before you apply any sunscreen to your skin, make sure you go outside for 15 minutes so your skin can absorb a lot of the vitamin D before you actually put that on so it doesn't reflect it, so your body can actually have the benefit of the vitamin D. He used to tell me that every day, like for 15 minutes, you're fine, but then after that, you should put on the sunscreen. I always found that quite interesting. So Cami, what effect does stress really have on overall health and our well-being? What are your thoughts?
Uh, I truly believe that stress is the number one killer because it affects so much in the body. It can cause heart disease, stroke. It causes depression, anxiety, weight loss. It affects your memory. It is so damaging to the body, and yet stress is everywhere in our lives. It runs rampant. So stress is one of those things where we really need to start being aware of and conscious of what causes us stress and how to reduce it.
I guess diet, exercise, proper sleep. But when it comes to diet, are there any foods in particular that maybe will help alleviate some of the stress, give us a sense of calmness and peace?
Yeah, they're called adaptogens. And what adaptogens do is they go in and adapt into the body where they're needed, and they remove both physical stressors and emotional stressors, because stress isn't just a mental state or how we feel. It's your flight or fight response that is being activated in the body, and it causes wear and tear on different organs and different systems in the body. And so there are foods that we can eat. Ashwagandha is a great one. Reishi mushroom as well are beautiful for reducing stress in the body.
Thyroid disorders are also increasingly common right now. Can you discuss traditional approaches or remedies for managing these sorts of problems?
Yeah, and again, a lot of times thyroid problems can be brought on by the adrenal systems being overloaded, so the thyroid needs to kick in. And so you can either have hyper or hypo, and ashwagandha is a really good one for hypo, for increasing those hormone levels and balancing them back out. Um, Moringa leaf and lemon balm are really good for hyper, for bringing that body back into homeostasis, balancing the hormones, kind of calming the hormone levels down.
Some people are quite concerned about getting type 2 diabetes, and they say you should stay away from the sugars. But what about sugars in some of our fruits, like bananas are high in sugar, maybe oranges or apples? What are your thoughts in that regard? Should we steer clear of certain fruits, or are they okay?
My grandma had this great saying, too much of a good thing is a bad thing. And it's always stuck with me. And every time I think of something, I'm like, always in moderation. Too much can cause imbalance. So they're okay, but just let's not overindulge ourselves and overdo things. Just my advice.
Cami, as men get older, you know, we really get concerned about our prostate health. Sometimes the prostate enlarges, making things a little more difficult. Are there any natural remedies you suggest that could potentially maybe shrink a man's prostate? Maybe some foods that may help?
Yeah, and a couple that come to mind would be the cordyceps mushroom as well as pine pollen. They're very good for men's health and also removing the stresses from your body, bringing it into homeostasis so that your hormone levels are balanced, which can cause an issue of problems with prostate and other parts of men's function. So those are two that come to mind that I would recommend.
You know, a lot of my sports teams not making the playoffs causes me a lot of stress, so maybe I should kind of distance myself from some of those sports teams. Cami, sleep disorders like insomnia affect so many of us. What non-traditional methods have proven effective in your opinion?
So a lot of people like to take melatonin. I don't really recommend that one. Those are just kind of over the counter supplements you can buy. But the ones that have worked are the ones that you're not taking supplementation. So sleep coaches that can kind of coach you and take away that fear of bedtime, or can help you with your sleep regulation and monitoring, but those can get a little costly and pricey, so it's not always best for everyone. But and another one is sleep apnea. A lot of people suffer from sleep apnea because of stress and weight gain and things like that. So going to someone who can test you out, and maybe you need the sleeping apparatus, those have proven really, really well for people with sleeping and insomnia and sleep problems.
The cold and flu season is just around the corner once again, Cami. What ancient strategies or remedies do you suggest to maybe help boost our immune systems? I mean, for me, a lot of times I have blueberries just about every day on my cereal, or, strawberries. A lot of the berries, I guess, have a lot of antioxidants in them.
Yeah, and antioxidants are great. And let's remember, we should be not only dealing with the cold and flu when it happens, but being preventative. So let's start now. Taking astragalus root is a really great one for boosting the antibodies in your body, and also it helps to reduce inflammation and helping with the respiratory health. So making sure your lungs and your upper respiratory are nice and healthy and strong to kind of prevent those viruses coming and entering the body. Elderberry is a classic, again, high in antioxidants, helping with upper respiratory, echinacea, things that we should be taking now to be preventative for when those things kind of hit. But when we do get those viruses, a lot of us will have sore throat. So taking marshmallow root is really great for soothing those mucous membranes when we're having those really hard coughs and things like that. So
Are there any foods that maybe we should be leery of, especially when it comes to seniors, maybe those who are most vulnerable, or even children they should maybe steer clear of?
sugar is the biggest one. Sugar and salt, too much, right? Sugar is just wreaks havoc on your cellular health and your body. So, staying as healthy and nutritious as possible with lots of great vegetables, that's the key.
And let's wrap it up with talking about specific foods, herbs, or lifestyle practices from traditional medicine that can maybe help individuals ward off common seasonal illnesses, or maybe how about some allergies too?
So, bee pollen is a great one for seasonal allergies. And another one that I love, I think, are things that you can just find in your kitchen. So, garlic and onions, making one of those fire ciders that, has maybe some peppercorns and cayenne pepper. So, when you're using those warming spices, that really helps against some of these cold and flus that can enter the body.
And the garlic also keeps the vampires at bay, correct?
For Halloween, perfect timing.
Cami Tanner is the founder behind Herbal Apothecary, located right here in Lethbridge, Alberta. Cami, thanks so much for your time today.
Thank you so much for having me.
On behalf of all of us here at Bridge City News, I'm Hal Roberts. God bless, and thanks for watching.